watching Amitha Verma. Today, I wanted to talk to you about a big hot button issue that comes up with almost everyone. Literally every person that's working on his or her home. One of the most frequently asked questions that I get asked is, how do I design with my spouse, partner, or significant other? I know this is a tough one, so I'm really excited to jump into this topic today. I have had the privilege of working with many couples to create their dream home, and I can't tell you the number of fights, tears, and amount of frustration I have witnessed. And I want to tell you, it's completely normal. Even when I'm working on my own home, my hubby and I can totally disagree on styles, budget, and how we're going to approach a project. So today, I wanted to share my top 5 tips on how to work with your partner to create a unique, beautiful home that not only reflects you, but also your partner and your entire family. The first thing I want to share with you is, in order to work on a project successfully, it's really ideal to communicate with your partner what you're looking for before you go out on the hunt. Meaning, you need to share your design vision before you go out. Oftentimes, when you're working on a project, you might feel as though you want to hop in the car with your partner, head out on the road, and look around and see what's there to get inspired. But I promise you, that's a surefire way to get into a confrontational situation with your significant other, and there is a better way. Your partner may not understand your vision, or frankly, may not even like it. And it will surely leave you with hurt feelings, frustration, and you might even get a little mad when they don't like what you like. How are you going to do that? Nowadays, there are so many amazing resources online, like house.com and pinterest.com. And that's exactly how I do this very process when I'm working with customers, architects, builders, and even my spouse. So here's how I do it whenever I'm working on a project. So recently, my dear hubby and I were working on a kitchen design for our own house. I knew he would not be able to understand my vision. So I hopped onto Pinterest and created a board called Kitchen Design. Pinterest is like a really cool way to create these online bulletin boards to share images and collect images of things that inspire you. So I hopped onto Pinterest and created a board called Kitchen Design. Then I started pinning or saving and collecting images that I could use to show him so he could understand my vision of how I wanted all the details to come together, how I wanted the trim details to look, how I wanted the marble to look, the finish and color and style of the faucets, the edge details that I wanted on the countertops. I literally took about 15 minutes to put all of that together and really spell it out for my husband. I even put examples of what I didn't want on the board so he could see the whole image and what I loved and what I didn't love. And I'll tell you what, it turned out to be a flawless project. There were no arguments, we made progress and wrapped it up in an efficient amount of time with a beautiful end result. This is how you can share your vision with your spouse and how they can visually understand you. They may still disagree with you, but this is how you can communicate your ideal design styles and visions before you start looking. Otherwise, what happens is you go out, start selecting pieces, only to have your partner reject your style, which is upsetting and honestly can hurt a little bit. Next, I want to talk about the B word. Establish a budget. Now here's my tip for you. Don't pre-establish any prices in your mind like, I'm only going to go out and spend $500 on a buffet, but at the same time, you know if you can or cannot afford to spend a small fortune on 100-year-old reclaimed antique flooring from France or a special piece of furniture that really could blow the budget. So discuss the upper limit of your budget before you start your project. And I always tell you and your partner, leave a little bit of wiggle room in your budget to go up or down to help you select the right pieces. These limits are just another way for you to both be on the same page when you're working on the design. Now third, opposites attract. In your relationships, you will find opposites attract. And they do so because opposite personalities can come together and bring out the very best qualities in both of you. I know some of you are thinking, I don't like any of my partner's style, and they probably don't like mine. Well, this is the best time in design history to have this problem. That is because people are really embracing and crazy about mixed interiors. So you love French country and your partner loves technology and all things modern, or perhaps all things animal, or even something perhaps very heavily traditional. And my advice to you is mix it all. The trick to doing this is generally to map out the design of your entire room. This can be super simple, like these quick sketches that I did for a few rooms that I was working on. You can do this on a piece of paper or a napkin, or get as fancy as you like. You can see how simple they are, but this really helped me map out the possibilities of where I could mix pieces in. Right away, I could see where I wanted to mix modern lucite with a very antique 18th century piece, or perhaps a classic 18th century piece or with crisp modern art, or bring in a flair of traditional when you're working with something super crisp and modern. When you have that plan, you can say, okay, my partner loves antlers, even though I don't really love them, but here's a great place where I can incorporate them. Or here's where I can install an ultra sleek modern table paired with an Eames chair to contrast my classic French Louis XV style settee. Honestly, I think this is even better than having a spouse on the exact same design page as you, because it's really going to inspire you to create a truly one-of-a-kind design for you, your husband or wife, and your home, your family, your children. It may be frustrating on the front end, but the finished room is really going to be a wow statement about all of you. My next tip is how to compromise. Many moons ago, when I got married, one of the guests at our wedding came up to my hubby and I to give us a bit of marriage advice. I was sure I had heard it all by this point in time, and this couple started talking to us about how the key to a successful marriage is to compromise. I already knew that, and of course we all know that you have to compromise. Well, this guest stopped me and said, no, let me explain what it means to compromise. Compromise does not mean 50-50. To compromise with your spouse means sometimes it's 100% him and sometimes it's 100% you. That is how you define compromise in a marriage. And I'll tell you what, that lesson was one of the best pieces of advice I have ever gotten. It's something I use in my own relationship, and it's something I use whenever I'm working on design or really anything with my husband. So I want to tell you, decide on a few pieces that you can both agree will be 100% yours and 100% your partner's. In my house, this is art. Art is such a personal experience, and it can truly move one person while totally not affecting the next person. Generally speaking, the scale, composition, colors, balance, and all of those elements have to go with your design, but this is a great way that you can say, hey, I want this to be 100% you. If you love the piece, go for it. If your partner loves the piece, let that piece be the piece that inspires him or her. And last but not least, if you are miles apart and you just can't seem to get your styles to blend, that's okay. I say get a little bit of expert help. There are so many talented design experts out there that would love to come help you for an hour or two to bring it all together. Don't be afraid to get help. Check out your school auctions. Designers are always donating a few hours of time. Ask for referrals, look on Facebook, look online, contact your moms groups, and you'll find there are so many designers that would love to come out and help you for just a few hours. Their expertise is blending design styles, repurposing pieces, repositioning, and making long-lasting recommendations for you. I hope you've enjoyed this topic. It's definitely a tough one, and I invite you to leave a comment and share a tip about how you may have discovered how to incorporate everyone's styles whenever you're working on your home projects. I love hearing from you, so be sure to leave a comment in the comments below. And remember, you both have great taste. You have the good sensibility to know you are right for each other, so trust that same taste when you're working on your home. Till next time.